Love's Been a Mystery is about the life of James Joyce, but more specifically, I think, the mind of James Joyce and exploring to the very essence of who he is.
Like Shakespeare, he turned all the genres that came into his purview on their head, and he tackled head-on the literary conventions of his day as well as sexual and moral conventions of his time.
Whinge like a baby? Absurd!
We meet Joyce at quite a young age. He's a schoolboy at a boarding school, and he's being squashed by these educational institutions and religious institutions.
He's not a very attractive personality even at this stage. He's full of himself. He's very sure of himself and unsure of his own abilities at this stage. He hasn't achieved anything of note apart from a few political broadsides and some poetry, and he's only just beginning to write Dubliners, his first publication.
When I was asked to direct the theatre piece, it was right in the height of the pandemic and when the numbers were increasing and increasing. And unfortunately, by the time we actually got to putting on the theatre piece, COVID had taken over. And so it was basically either we make a film in a week or we cancel it for, I think it would be the third time that they would have cancelled the season. So we chose the film route, which is a bit crazy and ambitious.
My first reaction to that was, it was a bit of fear because the timeline for that, like, you know, the turnaround, we had 2 weeks to do pre-production and 1 week only to film the thing. One of the last projects that I worked on was about 15 minutes in runtime, and that took us a week to shoot. And at the moment, Love's Been a Mystery is running at about 1 hour and 15. So the prospect of shooting a feature film in that short amount of time was really, really scary.
On set, I was both surprised and yet not surprised at all at how incredibly adaptable and moldable everyone was in all of their different areas.
The challenge that was put before us was making a feature film in a very, very short amount of time. But over and over again, the team that we were working with constantly proved to me that if you just get the right combination of people, you can achieve really crazy things.
So we're a combination between the real world being an actual brothel.
Yes.
And also that this is a weird, like if you think about it, we've got Rebecca in there, who's his mum, not dressed as his mum. It's kind of this weird dreamland space, weirdness in the brothel.
Saying a dream, yeah, I feel like really does sort of make it, because yeah, like there's people that you're aware of that are playing different roles than normal now, but you don't even address it.
Yes.
So with this 20-minute break, do you want to finish up the brothel at 10:40, or do you want to start the fight scene at 11:20?
I reckon let's split the diff.
Oh, okay, so
and go
finish it.
10:50, 11:10.
Yeah. And so at 11:10, I will take those 2 actors and we'll run through it.
Great. Just sort of spin out and end up just a little further away. Okay. So you can end up centre.
Yeah.
So that when we do the cut, we don't see you in the frame, and then when we cut to this angle, we also don't.
So just like here's fine.
Yeah. When we're following in, when we're drawing in, it is purpose in. So yes, definitely.
So maybe for the
But then once we're here, first part, Zoe.
Yeah.
Second part, once we start to get drunker, we're focusing on the fact that he's drunk. We get the point that she's lured him in, we've done that. We get that.
We got him.
You got him?
Yeah.
And that's about his reaction.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do the camera?
Yeah.
One of the major challenges we faced was the interpretation of theatre to film. And of course, this as a piece of theatre worked as kind of a tour through Villa Alba, so it was a live interactive experience. So a big part of our challenge was how do we capture that theatrical experience, but also that personal involvement that we had from the audience, and how do we distill that in film?
The way this piece was written, it was written as a theatre piece, so you're limited by physical space and time. How long is this actor going to take to change before they have to get to the next scene? Like, there's all those things that you need to think about because you have to do it all in the one chunk. Whereas film, you've got so much more flexibility.
On film, you have the luxury of being able to move and place and change things. So it meant we were, number one, we were able to use the upstairs area and film in different regions. but it also meant we were able to actually change the narrative structure of the film.
Has enlarged its soul and opened its mouth without any limits.
She comes to me. I'm the only one. Her wasted body.
This show, this movie, started life as an immersive theatre experience that then, because of COVID and a few other things, got turned into a movie.
Moses in the theatre version, her job was to literally take tickets, bring people through the front door and guide them through the whole experience. And we've still managed to keep that role for Moses in the film. But now it can take a little bit of a different form in that we don't actually need to be taken directly from room to room. We just need, the context. We need someone to guide us through what we're seeing.
She's still a tour guide, but she's sort of a narrator and also sort of just an anchor to someone, outside the story. Someone who can help the audience who is also outside the story, also coming to this for the first time. She can guide them, very literally, but in a much more kind of weirdly metaphysical way, now that we've detached from physical space and made it into a film which can go anywhere and be anything.
That was a really cool discovery, to actually realise one day where we were sitting there editing and then looking at the timeline and going, oh my God, actually we don't need to stick to this. There's so many more creative options that we have now.
Cut! This scene is familiar to any reader of Ulysses, is it not? But Jim and Stanny weren't alone either.
Can I pause for a second? A couple of things. Can we pop you in position here? Ideally.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused with the next one.
Yeah, totally fine. Yeah. But I can just put it over here too against the wall. That's our shot.
And they're about to storm out towards me.
Alright, show Jack what we're gonna do. See if this is alright. Right, so we end up there. Do we need that?
It just because he's looking at us, I would rather everything be very straight on. So I'd almost rather
go over the camera?
Yeah, it's sort of like, you sort of have to probably bend in the middle.
Like actually go like that?
Yeah. So like.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool.
Nice.
So if I can do a throw action and then you just pull it over.
Yeah, as long as someone maybe it's Chelsea, you put your arm here, that'll just mean that it doesn't capture the camera.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's do that.
This has been an experimental process for us for the most part. Trying to bring these two mediums, these two art forms together of theatre and film has been really interesting. And the only reason it's actually come about is because of the impacts of the pandemic. So it really serves as this time capsule because given any other scenario, it would have just been a theatre piece, or it would have just been a film.
It's really a testament to everyone who was part of this film that we were able to change directions so quickly and so seamlessly, and the energy on set was lovely. Everyone was so invested and so there and ready to make the changes we needed to make. So that surprised me and yet didn't surprise me as well, given the crew that we had on board.
So maybe just I'll mark my frame here and I'll just tell you when your boom's in shot.
Yeah. Okay.
When? Wow, really? Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I can just leave it over the chair and then I'll grab
it. Gotcha. Okay. So would it be last line?
Yeah. We just want to see how the light plays when you guys are all together, because I think. Yeah, so we'll have you guys standing together and then we'll see what you guys are in the two variations of you three together. So.
Jackie, do you want to take your first position? You can take half a step back. There. Yeah.
Yes, so that's where you want to be, because we're all getting very nice lighting on each other. So, yep, cool.
There's no shadow or anything like that?
Nah, pretty good.
Some pretty strong Harry Potter tree vibes or
Yes. Who's the run? If at the end of the day, audiences can watch this film and take away the idea that this is really a product of its time, showing the resilience of performers and creatives, not only from Melbourne, but from all over the world, what they're capable of doing when their backs are against the wall, then we've done our job.
doing speech now. It was a real feel. I'm really proud of your work. Hope you've all had fun. Congratulations, everyone. This has been wonderfully fun. And thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, every single person.
We just wrapped on Love's Been a Mystery. And here's Tom.
Chelsea.
Here's Toby.
Another successful shoot.
Yes. Another one in the bag.
Yeah.
Well done.